Hello, welcome to King of Review. I'm Kieran and today I'd like to talk about the factoring. Let's get started. I want to start my lesson with a sandwich. Some of you may think, why is there a sandwich in a math lesson? Yes, it's kind of odd, but there is a similarity. A sandwich is made of many different ingredients, such as a piece of bread, tomatoes, some cheese like that. Likewise, a number one expression consists of some factors. That's why I choose this picture. Let's get ready for the chapter. Then, what is a factor? What does the factor mean in algebra? Firstly, factors are numbers we can multiply together to get another number. Here, we have an example 2 times 3 equals 6. In other words, 6 consists of these 2 and 3. It's kind of like a sandwich. Let's say 6 is a sandwich and these 2 and 3 are the ingredients. So we call these ingredients 2 and 3 factor. Here we have another example. We can multiply two binomials using the FOIL method. So x plus 1 times x plus 2 equals x squared plus 3x plus 2. The factors are also what we can multiply together to get an expression. So in this case, these x plus 1 and x plus 2 are also factors. Let's look at one more example. We have 3 times a plus 2. If we distribute this equation, we get 3a plus 6. This is because 3 times a plus 3 times 2 equals 3a plus 6. We call this process expanding. And reversely, the process of going from 3a plus 6 to 3 times a plus 2 is called factoring. In this lesson, we'll learn about this factoring. Okay, let's get started. What is the first ingredient in a sandwich? It's obviously bread. Let's look at the bread. Okay, the first one is common factor. The simplest type of factoring occurs when there is a factor common to every term. Factor out the greatest common factor. Let's have an example. Whenever you factor, please check if there is a greatest common factor. So, we're going to find the GCF of each term. Firstly, we can rewrite 9y squared as 3 times 3 times y times y. And this 18 in prime factored form, 2 times 9, and this 9, 3 times 3. So this 18 would be 2 times 2, 2 times 2 factors of 3. So we can rewrite 18y as 2 times 3 times 3 times y. Okay, we factored out all terms and now we find the GCF. To find the GCF, circle the common factors here. These two terms have in common. They both have 2 factors of 3 and they both have a factor of y. So what is circled in each term is what they have in common, which gives us the greatest common factor of 9y. Okay, now we found the GCF, and then write each term as the product of the GCF and the remaining factors. So write down the GCF 9y times the remaining factor y plus, write down the GCF 9y times the remaining factor, that is 2. And then lastly, use the distributive property to factor out the GCF. So this is equal to 9y times the remaining factors, y plus 2. So 9y squared plus 18y can be factored out to 9y times y plus 2. Let's look at one more example. This looks like a bit complicated, but we'll use the same method. It doesn't matter how many terms we have. Write it out in prime factored form identify the common factors, and then factor out the GCF. So for this example, we know that 2ab is 2 times a times b. And then this 8 in prime factorial form would be 2 times 4 and 2 times 2. So we can rewrite this 8 times a squared times b is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 factors of a times a times b. And what we'll notice about this term is the coefficient is negative. So we can rewrite negative 4 as negative 1 times this 4, 2 times 2, 2 times 2. So this negative 4ab squared is negative 1 times 2 times 2 times a times 2 factors of b times b. Now we circle all of the factors in common among all three terms to find the GCF. Okay, so they all have a 2, and they all have a 1 factor of a, and they all have 1 factor of b as well. B. Whatever we circled represents the GCF. So in this case, we have 2ab as our GCF. And again, whatever we haven't circled is the remaining factor. Now, write each term as a product of the GCF and the remaining factors. So 2ab times the remaining factor is 1 plus the GCF 2ab times the remaining factor. The product of this remaining factor is 2 times 2 times a, that is 4a. And then write down the GCF first. 2ab times the remaining factor is negative 1 times 2 times b, that is negative 2b. Please remember that when you have a negative sign like here, you need to be cautious. Now use the derivative property to factor out the GCF. So this is equal to 2ab times 1 plus 4a minus 2b. So this can be factored out to 2ab times 1 plus 4a minus 2b. So far, we learned about factoring out the greatest common factor. I hope you found this video helpful. We'll talk about the factoring formulas in the next lesson. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.